Using an ultraviolet laser and offset fill, as well as different fill patterns, it's possible to get a sort of 3D effect from your laser engraving. In order to use different fills at all, you have to use vector-based graphics. You can't do this with rasterized image graphics. So what you do is you go into your various vector graphic images. Let's break this one apart. You select the individual components, and you have to separate them out by different layers, which you see along the bottom. So you can go in here and set the different fills. Now, in this case, what I wanted was the dark red to catch light coming down from above, the pink to catch light coming from the side. The inner gold right here, I wanted to do the offset fill in order to create a three-dimensional effect, and a similar thing going on the edges with a slightly different, darker one. So let's first start out with the background stripes. We come over here, and you can see here I have changed the light pink ones to have the fill going this direction, which basically goes along with the stripes. And on this section over here, I had the fill go side to side for the darker pink ones. So this way it'll catch light differently from different angles. When the light's up from above, it'll reflect really nicely off of these ones here, causing the dark pink ones to be more bright. But when the lights come from the side, it'll cause the light pink ones to be more bright, and vice versa. Now with the offset fill, especially with the incredibly high resolution, very tiny dot pitch of the ultraviolet laser, you get patterns similar to CDs. You know how CDs have that holographic reflectiveness. It's because they have little grooves cut into them that are just so incredibly tiny that they catch light and allow it to create refractions and optical illusions. Same thing with the ultraviolet laser. In this case, with the offset fill, it's going around the outside over and over and over and over again. Well, I can actually show you right over here into preview mode. You see, as it creates these lines, those lines are going to catch the light differently depending upon the angle, sometimes being brighter and sometimes being darker, creating the 3D appearance. It's pretty simple. You just have to make sure to separate out all your vector graphics into different layers. Here you can see the offset fill being cut into the surface that'll eventually become the interference pattern that creates the 3D effect. The engraving is actually quite shallow, but has a good 3D appearance. Here you can see the coin after etching. Even though the coin is almost completely flat, the 3D appearance is great. It really pops out. Downside is, though, it's possible to get gunk inside of the grooves, which kind of ruins the effect. Fortunately, it's not too hard to clean that out. Similar to how you clean it with an etch, you just take a wet washcloth, wipe it over the surface, and it's possible to get loose gunk like fingernails removed from the surface. Dry it off, and it's good as new. But there is a better way of sealing this to make sure it doesn't get gritted like that in the future. A good way to seal the surface is just with basic clear nail polish. It works really well, keeps grit from getting inside of those little tiny grooves. Here on the other side, I used some ultraviolet resin, which I cured, but I had a hard time getting a nice smooth finish. The nail polish works really well, and you don't need any ultraviolet light in order to help set the stuff. You just paint it on, wait, and it's good to go. Basic nail polish. Here's some other examples of vector art I've used the 3D effect on. You should give it a try on your next project.